Once upon a time, there was a crow who was very thirsty. He was so thirsty that he would have given anything in the world for a single drop of water. As he was hopping about, looking for some water to drink, he came across an old abandoned pitcher. And on looking into it, he found that only very little water was left in it, and that he could not reach far enough down to get at it. He tried, and he tried, but at last had to give up in despair. Then a thought came to him, and he took a pebble and dropped it into the pitcher. Then he took another pebble and dropped that into the pitcher. Then he took another pebble and dropped that into the pitcher. Then he took another pebble and dropped that into the pitcher. Then he took another pebble and dropped that into the pitcher. Then he took another pebble and dropped that into the pitcher. But still the water did not rise up enough for the crow to drink. Now, just as the crow was about to give up all hope, he saw the water mount up near him, and after casting in a few more pebbles he was able to quench his thirst and save his life. Once upon a time, a poor farmer had a small piece of land which he used to sow with grain. But year after year, his land became smaller and smaller, and at last he could not even get enough grain to feed his family. One day he went out into his field, sat down on a nearby tree, and began to weep. A kind and clever fairy, seeing him from her home in the sky, asked one of her little winged pea to go down and ask the farmer why he was crying. The pea flew down to the tree where the farmer sat and asked him what was the matter. The farmer told the Pied Piper all about his troubles. The Pied Piper listened patiently, and then said to the farmer, "Do not be unhappy. I will soon have you dancing and singing like a man possessed." The Pied Piper waved its magic wand over the farmer, and in an instant he was transformed into a mouse. Then the fairy led the farmer into the house and gave him some bread and cheese to eat. She also gave him a beautiful coat and cap, and at night she tucked him up in a warm bed. From that day on, the farmer lived with the fairies, and every evening they would play all sorts of tricks on the people of the village below. Sometimes they would turn their cows into horses or their pigs into dogs. And when the people of the village were chasing after them, the fairies would lead them a wild goose chase through the fields and the woods. One day the farmer was playing with a ball in the yard, when he heard some children passing by singing, "Here we go a-hunting, we will catch the mouse and make a ball of him." Then the farmer ran away, and the children after him. They chased him through the fields, over the hills, and into the forest. At last they caught him, and put him into a little boat and began to row him across a wide river. But the boat was very unstable and soon began to fill with water. Just as the children were about to give up hope, a friendly-looking woman in a little boat came up to them and said, "Why are you rowing so hard? Are you trying to upset your boat?" "We are trying to catch a mouse," replied one of the children, "but our boat is filling with water and we shall all drown." "Let me help you," said the woman. And taking the mouse out of the boat, she put him into her own boat and rowed after the other children. When she had brought them all together, she said, "I am going to take this mouse to my home, and if any one of you wants to come with me, let him step into my boat." One of the children stepped into the boat, and then the woman, rowing away from the others, asked him, "What do you think I shall do with this mouse?" "Oh, don't eat him," said the boy, "for I am sure he has done nothing wrong." So the woman promised not to eat the mouse, and they all lived happily ever after.